Umbra Awoken was actually the last run we did, but it has been quite a while, so I don't mind doing it again immediately. We do need to play Penumbra if we want to get the crown. We could go with root seeds or with restore here. I think I'm gonna go with root seeds today, and let's jump in. Let's see if I can still play this game. If I'm still good at it. We have Making of a Morsel, Glimmer and Void Binding here. That's not a bad start at all. Quite diverse. We have Seraph the Patient, Arcus with All But Days, and Daedalus with Damage Shield, right? No, the Extinguish. All But Days meaning Incant and Harvest Dark Shards. Winged Steel and Advanced Prototype. Advanced Prototype, I mean, it's good. Should get us through the early stages of the fight, but after Daedalus, Winged Steel is definitely gonna be better. It's not bad even before then. Although, very early on, it's often a bit harder to use. I'm still gonna take it. I will also take the Divine Boons, and we have Architect or Monstrous here. I kinda like the idea of going Architect. Yeah, let's do it. We do have the Void Binding, so Monstrous was a little bit of a consideration there, but I think generally Architect should be the superior choice with our deck. Monstrous doesn't quite have enough oomph to carry you through a run anymore, so I want to involve some better scaling, which the extra capacity that Architect comes with might be able to provide. That was definitely the wrong order. I just took an unnecessary Ember Drain, but at least we get an Ember Morsel to make up for some of it. You have 50 health. It's gonna be a bit hard to deal with. We could do double Train Steward. Root Seeds, that gives us 46 damage. We might get enough. Void Binding would be the easier way. That's Void Binding. We'll take the Ember Drain here. We have no Ember this turn. It's the slight problem. Yeah, and then one Ember next turn. That might be all we need. I'll have to see. Right now we need all the hits on the Apprentice of Light. We don't have room for any morsels. Glimmer doesn't kill anyone. Root Seeds is not good either. We take the 5. But we should be able to deal with this boss. There we go. 5 damage taken. It's okay. Pack morsels, Making of a Morsel, Prismal Dust. We already have 2 Making of a Morsel. I don't think I want another one. I could pick up a Pack Morsels if we really want to go with Gorge strategies. That could help. Prismal Dust is okay. Can be pretty solid. We're up against Seraph the Patient. It's probably gonna be worth picking it up. I'll take it. Sting, Wildwood Sap and Sharpen. Sharpen could help us with backline clearing. It's not a bad way. I don't think I want Wildwood Sap. I'll take a sharpen. Shadow Eater, Animals of Speed, Animals of Will. Can we have an Animals of Will be our Gorge unit? Maybe. There are quite a few ways to make that work. I think I want to go for the Merchant of Steel. Yeah. Yeah. Let's take the Merchant of Steel. Let's take a look. What do we have here? We have Quick. Quick isn't bad. Chestplate, Concussive Coals, one Grindstone. Grindstone is pretty good. I'm gonna take a Grindstone. That helps our animals, it helps our morsels. It's a significant boost. Shattered Shell, Thorned Hollow. Quick Shattered Shell. That's a thing we could get right now. Let's get a quick Shattered Shell. Shattered Shell also needs some help in terms of base damage. We don't have access to that just now. If we reroll, we can only afford small upgrades. Small upgrades wouldn't be bad. Animals of Will likes them. Shattered Shell kind of wants one. Sure. We can get Frenzy Stone. Frenzy Stone would have been great on the Shattered Shell. Probably put just a normal Strength Stone on there. That should be good enough. Where do we want to go next? Probably for the artifact. Non-boss enemy units enter with spikes 3. That's actually a bit worrisome. We're fighting overcharged apprentices, trusted priests, and I think there are crossbowmen as well. Either that or the defenders. The defenders would be even worse. We can take out some units with Glimmer. We do have Prismal Dust. We have Making of a Morsels. This is a very scary trial, but I think we can just get through. We might take some damage. I'm not saying we are not gonna take damage here. We most likely will. I kinda wish I could play this Making of a Morsel. I can if I leave out the Animals of Will. That's probably what I'll do here. Right? I could also leave out Penumbra. Just put these up there. Oh, we're not gonna get tanky enough with the Animals of Will is the problem. Shattered Shell in the back. Shattered Shell dies too early. What if we play Penumbra, Shattered Shell, Prismal Dust for 2? I will give the Prismal Dust, we will give the Shattered Shell 7 HP for the next wave. That's not gonna be enough, even if I Glimmer it in between. If I feed the Shattered Shell the Making of a Morsel, that looks better, but then we actually have to tank the hit, and we will keep having to tank hits with it. This is very spicy challenge I took there. There's only one solution, really. We have to have the Shattered Shell. Whoops. We have to have the Morsel on the floor first. Shattered Shell in the front. Animals of Will in the back. And because Penumbra doesn't fit on this floor, Penumbra goes on the middle floor. Here's the upgraded Overcharged Apprentice. We're gonna need some morsels. How much I can tell. These morsels will attack, so the Rebel morsel would die if we put it here. Let's do this for now. Too bad we're not gonna get this collector. I think we have to Void Binding. We need the damage shields, we need the damage. Although, can we get... away with putting the Void Binding on the Animus of Will instead. This is the problem. I think we have to put the Void Binding on the Animus Will actually. We need the damage shields. We will have one Ember thanks to the morsel. So we can adapt a little bit here. This is 6 damage prevented on the Shadow Gel. Or we could use it here, prevent the 6 damage next turn, and also prevent some damage on the Penumbra, and also heal it. But we do an incant. And it looks like my Shadow Gel is gone this turn. Because of the incant. It's not entirely true because I have a Muzzle Miner. I would like to use that differently, but I don't think I can afford to. Alright, you are sweeping, huh? We do still have 1 damage shield, so we get 1 turn of attacks with the Animus. I need a good morsel here. Lifesteal? You are quick. Lifesteal will actually save you. That is actually great. That was a dicey one. With a slightly worse draw, we might not have made this. But I figure most draws were gonna get us through, thanks to having the Glimmer kill the backliners, and thus reducing the damage we take to spikes and their attacks. But yeah, let's think about the future. Do we need Space Prism? It would be helpful right now, but not really that important. We are gonna get extra capacity once we upgrade Penumbra, so that's certainly gonna help. And Umbra Assault is good, but it needs a few upgrades. I think the upgrades we want on Umbra Assault we could also give to Glimmers and that would be okay, but Umbra Assault wants them more. Same goes for Mind Collapse. But I kinda want a bit more morsel generation beyond these makings and shade splitters. So I'm gonna take an Umbra Assault. Glimmer, Razor Sharp Edge and another Sharpen. I'll gladly take a Razor Sharp Edge. We have some units that really like this card. Thorn Fruit. There's also Cheater's Hand, but there's Thorn Fruit. We pick Thorn Fruit. Morsel Master, Morsel Maker. Morsel Maker would be decent essence on something like the Animus of Will. Morsel Master seems a bit less necessary right now, because we don't really have Gorge, so it would just be doubling the stack gains. Still relevant. Quite relevant, in fact. We do have the making of a Morsel, which benefits quite a bit from Morsel Masters. Morsel Maker is also +5 health right from the get-go, which is also nice. A little bit of extra health on the Animus of Will would go a long way. I'm gonna pick up a Morsel Maker. Let's take the money. Penance Yard, huh? While I like Worn Grindstone, I don't think I take another Worn Grindstone that just gives me 3 blights on top of it. Well, that's actually 10 attack. It's 2 Worn Grindstones for 3 blights. That's a bit more acceptable, but still not great. I could take Ember Stasis, but it's very expensive to play out, and while it just nukes an enemy right now, and that can be quite nice. It's not... well, it will still do a lot in the next 4 fights. I have 4 fights to use them. Then I have a pretty useless artifact, but that might be okay. We could also get the healing. I think this one, while the healing is nice, this one is not really what we want right now. Yeah, I think I take the 120 damage nukes. Mostly because they are useful, but they also open up other blight synergies just in case we happen to get them. It's not really something I often plan around, but might just be worth it here. I feel like just putting everything on the top floor might be the way to go here. Hey Sheldor, welcome! Glad to have you here. Do I put everything on the top floor? How do I keep my units alive? I can't feed, I can use Prismal Dust, I can use Glimmers, and I can use Void Binding. That's not gonna be enough. What if we do a throwaway Shattered Shell? Yeah, I think that's a way to go. We do have a morsel. Do we generate it? We do generate it, yes. So let's put that up on the top floor to deal with the Ember Drain. Then Penumbra. Penumbra in the front. Animals of Will in the front? Can we give the animals enough health? I think we might be able to. And then Shattered Shell should really be on the bottom floor. It should be on the bottom floor, because there will be Hastos. It might still be alive at that point. And then I think we put the Morsel Maker on the top floor as well. Probably here. And we also try to get another morsel in there. Might as well use the Sting. We have 2 more energy. I could play Glimmer and Entumber Assault. But I think even better than that is Train Sword in the front. Instead of playing the Glimmer. I need health on you. We took an Ember Drain, we didn't have to, but I think it should be okay. Health is more important than attack here, so we block the hit from the Extinguish, I guess. It's just 1 health. Might make a difference, it might not. Good thing we have these stings. They do help. Bottom floor is still looking okay. Not much longer though. Not much longer. But you know, clearing this wave out is already a huge help. I feel like I kind of have to nuke you. With the sweep, you're gonna cause problems. And we do have the option to do so, so we might as well use that. And now we no longer have sweep, but we also don't really need it for this wave. Yes, your health matters. Your attack also matters. Do we Ember Drain? I feel like we don't. We absorb 3 damage with the damage shields. The rage is gonna be mostly gone when Daedalus shows up. I think we cause more problems than we solve with that. I wish I could use those morsels. They can't really do much. 3 damage on this guy. I guess I should have used the Sting on the bottom floor then. With a decent draw, we are with the bad draw, I'm still gonna kill this guy before he even gets to attack. We're not gonna draw back into the Prismal Dust, so if I wanna play it, I have to play it now. And I think I wanna play it. It doesn't matter though. This guy's gonna hit, and both guys are gonna extinguish. No, this guy's not gonna hit because it's 1 damage shield. 1 damage shield against Daedalus is worth quite a bit. It's worth 10 health, in fact. Like, let's take that one out, and then now we use the Ember Drain, and we'll heal everyone up a bit. And that should easily defeat Daedalus. We have a lot of damage here. That worked out quite well. Unleash the Wildwood, Wretch, and Umbra Stone. These are some powerful cards. I don't think we really want Wretch. It's not bad. It's not amazing either. Do we get to high enough health values where Unleash the Wildwood makes a big difference? We still might. Umbra Stone though. Trample is really good. Especially on the Sweeper. Shatter a Shell. Do we see a Great Essence here? Not really. Although, Morsel Master on the Shatter a Shell could still be a thing. Could still be a thing. It's not great though. What do we need? Energy, draw, capacity? I don't think it's capacity, because we're not gonna upgrade Penumbra and then we have the capacity we need. Energy, that might actually be what we go for here. 1 energy will go quite a long way, especially with the next cost card in the deck. We already have quite a bit of draw with Wing Seal, Thorn Fruit, and the Root Seeds kind of being draw neutral, if we get to play it. If we get to play them out, we gain the energy back, we gain the card back we spent on them. I kind of want to go left. It denies me a unit draft that I could use to find an essence. But there are a few good essences we could still pick up. A few. There's basically 1. And that will be draw an extra card each turn. That wouldn't be bad. Not amazing either. So this might actually be kind of significant. That could be a game changer if we get a good essence here. I think that's worth it. We do have the chance to go for a Merchant of Steel and Unstable Vortex combo, just like this one next floor. We have Freeze, we have Surge, we have Twin, and we have True. These are not really the units I was considering as my essences, but they might still be better than the ones we get later. Fact is, Shatter Shell doesn't necessarily need an essence, but having 5 damage shield and +10/+10 is not bad. Let's take the Architect. Let's slam our essences. Well, one of them. So, right now, I'm thinking Morsel Master into Enemies of Will. Is that gonna be scaling quickly enough? I mean, with the ×3 multiplier on the attack, the Shattered Shell providing our defense with the quick sweep, might be working alright. We also have damage shield to complement it, so I think I'm okay with it. The Umbra units seem a bit weak since the DLC. There's definitely a point to it. They did buff the morsels to make like the Umbra a bit more competitive. Yes, we always take the piercing on the Entumbra Assault. Do we take the Twin Stone on anything? Right now, I'm not feeling it. What would the Twin Stone be amazing on? Razor Sharp Edge is pretty good. Prismal Dust, we could generate a second copy that we play at a later time. Void Binding, probably not. Umbra Stone, definitely not. Sharpen, no. Making of a morsel, unlikely. What is my cost reduction? Could be Entumbra Assault. We don't really need any other upgrades on it. Like, it's good just as it is. And it's important. Then we can play it whenever we want. Prismal Dust would certainly benefit from a freeze permafrost. Search Stone could go on a Glimmer, but it really doesn't seem that necessary to have these Glimmers in the first place. So I guess Consume on them is a pretty good deal. Let's do a reroll. What's another cost reduction? This one goes on either Razor Sharp or Void Binding. I think Razor Sharp first. Let's make both Glimmers consume, sure. And we could put consume removal on something, but I don't think I want to. We could also purge here. I think purging is alright. We're gonna gain enough money to reroll at the Merchant of Steel and buy the upgrades we want. So I think one removal here helps us deal with the next fight a bit better. I think we cut the Train Steward here, because both the Root Seeds and the Shade Splitters are pretty decent, as well as all the basic cards we rolled with. And of course we picked up cards from our draft picks that are also better than the Train Stewards. Heaven's Seal. We're up against Haste, so we have less time to get our Morsel Maker ready for combat. Morsel Maker, I mean Animus of Will. I don't think the trial changes much. It's mostly about can we keep our units alive. And with the first wave being something tame like this, I think it's pretty easy. We definitely want a Shade Splitter on the top floor to eat the Ember Drain. Penumbra, and then Shadow Rachel in the back. And we put a Trample on. Or do we gain a +5/+5 and play the Train Steward? Does the Trample even matter here? Will the Trample matter in future waves? Yes, it will matter. There will always be a weak target in the back that we get to trample all the damage to the front line. Hi Bestari, welcome. I'm doing great. I had a really nice day today, and I'm feeling pretty happy. We don't want to Entumbra Assault the Clip Conduit, because it gives us extra trample damage and slays. And on the other hand, what are we gonna do with these Glimmers if not weaken the Clip Guardian? Well, let's do this. As always, the first step here. This is also certainly gonna happen. We could play the Crucible Warden on the bottom, just let it die. That doesn't accomplish anything, unless we also play the Glimmer on the bottom. Ugh. Let's remove these bots. Okay. If we double Glimmer here. If we don't double Glimmer here, let's think about this first. We get 2 slays, we gain, we go up to 24 attack. We're gonna hit these guys for 24, so 14 and 23 damage spills over to the Clip Guardian. That's 37 damage spills over, so you're at 105 minus 37. You're at 68. Penumbra doesn't do 68, but Root Seeds is actually tripled on a Shadow Shell. And we have these Magma Morsels. I think we'll be fine. Just doing this. Glimmer we can use later to heal. And I'll put you here. Just in case we eventually kill a Clip Conduit and like manage to do anything relevant there. Unlikely, but you know, might as well. Animals of Will actually survive the hit here, so we put it down. But before we do that, we do have space for a morsel, and it's probably gonna be this one. So let's get things going. What else? You're spilling over 23 plus 32 right now. And another 33 from yourself. You're actually not that far off of just killing the Clip Guardian. What's the total health? The total health is 106. 3 times 33 is 99. Is that actually the kill on everyone? That's 3 times, we have 90, we have 111. That should just kill anyone without them being able to hit my Animals of Will. That's how Trample on Sweep works. It's really nice. And just compare their total health. Like, you compare their average health. It doesn't work with the guy having a damage shield, of course, but it's pretty good. Again, we are spilling over damage to the Clip Guardian from the Clip Shaman because of Trample. So the Animals of Will doesn't take the hit from the Clip Guardian and just takes the Clip Conduit damage. We don't have to Ember Drain here. But especially with the Rubble Morsel here to give us like extra Ember next turn, I feel like I want to. I'm also gonna start stacking these damage shields up because now we have Ember Drain, so the card is gonna be a bit weaker in the future. You already have... not quite. We have 231 damage, so we need that divided by 3. That's not quite 80. And we can get to not quite 80 damage. Yeah, of course. That works out. And finally, boss time. Let's use the Magnum of Morsel. We need to keep in mind that we should use these calcified embers in this, the next, or the Arcos fight. Otherwise, they won't be really worth their cost in the final. I don't need the Void Binding, and it might give me... It might give me the chance to play a Calcified Ember if I want to. There we go, we could. I feel like... yeah, we're better off not having too many of them in the deck. So we have one left that we can use in one of the final 2 fights. Plus 40 HP is good. Gives us more room for error. Cannibalize, Prism Retrieval, Ember Cache. Cannibalize, Prism Retrieval, Ember Cache. We have 2 priority units that we want to draw. We will have 2 once we remove the Crucible Warden. We're probably gonna remove most, if not all, of the Train Steward. So Prism Retrieval could work. If we hit, like, both our units scale really well with just attack. The Shadow Shell with the Quick Sweep and the Animals of Will with like Multi-Strike both use the attack pretty well. But we won't always be able to use Prism Retrieval to draw one of those. We also have a 30 card deck. We would need Prism Retrieval to be in the first 2 hands. No, in the first hand to really do anything. Maybe sometimes... well, we would need to make it innate, basically. No, it's too much work to make this. Good. Ammo cache, I don't think is really worth it either. We skip. And the Awoken card, as an adaptive mutation, there's also Preserve Thorns. I don't think we need Preserve Thorns with the Thorn Fruit already and the Winged Steel already. It's just draw next turn. Pretty efficient. 1 cost, draw 3 next turn. Not bad. And also deal some damage. The Stings being in our deck is a slight downside, I would say, in this deck. But just slightly. So not a huge deal there. But do we want to pay an Ember for that? And this draw 3 next turn even good for us? Debatable. Adaptive Mutation works pretty well with the Rage we could gain from Void Binding, but that's about it for this deck. No, that's not quite all. There's another use. We can use it to heal someone to full. It's not really... I don't pick it for just one use. I pick it because it's flexible. It has some sort of flexibility built into it. Thank you so much for the subscription, Bestari. I'll need to leave already, but needed to renew my Prime first. Thank you so much. 3 months already. Very much appreciated. You know, I like the Heartstone on the Morsel Maker. Animus of Will combo. Makes it a bit more resilient, and it is gonna be our frontliner. I don't like the Quick here. Doesn't really have great uses. Let's take a look in here before we decide. We have a Value Stone here. Also a True Stone. I think I do a reroll. Large Stone is great. That gives us a great reason to utilize Architect 3 after Fell Arcus actually. Kind of want a Value Stone on my Sharpen, Void Binding, Umbra Stone, or Prismal Dust. One of those. Probably... Is Sharpen even relevant for us, beside the attack buff? Umbra Stone being played as early as possible matters, so it's gonna be a decent cost reduction even though we are only gonna be playing it once. Void Binding, the cost reduction will mostly be for the chance to double stack it later. Otherwise a normal cost reduction would do. I feel like Umbra Stone is the way to go, but also, I mean, Sharpen does become quite a bit more relevant if we cost reduce it. But yeah, the spikes are just not a thing in this deck. So I'm gonna go with Umbra Stone, make that one easier to play out. And I don't think we need the True Stone at all. I'm gonna sack the Crucible Warden for the damage shield 5 and the +10/+10 on you. It's not hugely important, but it matters. And let's take a look at the Concealed Caverns before we decide on our removal. Should have looked here way earlier. Gift of Gratitude. We can play this pretty sizable. Petty Theft, we could give it a piercing. I don't think that's what we want. And Heaven's Gold. We take the gift. That gives us some extra money to spend on the next floor. I think we keep removing Train Stewards. They're not really amazing here. Like, they're rarely ever amazing, but they're really bad here. Spell Shield should be fine. Most of the duty that spells would usually take is done by the Quick Sweeper here. Now, we did get rid of the option to use morsels with the large stone here on the top floor. Once our setup is complete. But we do have much more health to start out with. I'm gonna sting I don't need to play the Glimmer, so let's just gain 120. We could potentially gain 160 or even 200 from that, but like 120 now is good. Sucks not to get the Collector here, but that's just how it goes. A bit worried about the Overcharge tank. Are we better off boosting our Shadow Shell for the waves? Or are we better off boosting our Animus of Will for the boss? I think we are better off making sure our Animus of Will doesn't take too much damage to the waves. These guys have 106 health combined. So we would need to hit... We don't have Trample yet. We would also need to hit Trample first. We might hit Trample. That's a pretty good chance. We draw half our remaining deck. 50-50 chance. Did not hit Trample just yet. But there's still a chance. I don't think that's necessary. We don't gain much from generating mortars right now. Yeah, that's not gonna be a huge help right now. Okay, so no trample, so we have to take the damage here. I guess we just throw on the shields. There we go. That solves this way for sure, not this one though. An Happy Mutation is currently not good on any of my units. Throw out the Void Binding. There are harvest guys everywhere, so we definitely don't want to do any sacrificing of morsels. Oops, forgot to look at my draw there, but that's fine, I think. Let's see. We have 60, we have 240 damage for this wave. They have 127, 128, 223, 233 health. So yeah, we are gonna sweep everything. Not like we can do anything against you. Our boss damage is very much dependent on the Animus of Will being strong enough. And especially with this Void Binding, that looks to be like a very promising fight. The spikes actually are quite significant against an enemy multi-strike 7. And the damage shields are less effective, but they do give us a little extra buffer, just in case we needed it. Amber Forge, Amber Cache, Excavation, Eruption. I don't hate Excavation Eruption here, but I also don't really like it enough to think it's worth including. The other two I don't think are even worth considering. Bramble-Lash, no, we don't build enough spikes, we don't have room for a Wildwood Custodian, and I don't think having more spikes is really that relevant to this deck. More removals, we don't need unit upgrades, Pyre Health is not critical. Pretty easy. Septap. Do we heal units often? We do not. We do it very rarely. It might not even be worth picking up. I don't think anything here is worth being picked up. Septep might be worth it. Let's take a look at the Dark Temple, Value and True Stone. And finally the Concealed Caverns. A Pillar of Light. We can get a Nexus Spike and immediately infuse it with... Value Stone. We could make that Nexus Spike... What? Sharpen Razor Sharp Edge? Is that even that good? What else could we make with the Nexus Spike? I don't think I want to include Umbra Stone in there. We don't need a more trample than we already have. Razor Sharp Edge is pretty good. Pretty sure Prismal Dust can't be included because it's an X cost. Adaptive Mutation I don't think I want to include. But Sharpen and Razor Sharp Edge together isn't terrible. It's also not good. Purchase spell copy, create 3 copies with unhinged power. I think we choose that one. And I think the card to purge might be a Shade Splitter. Yep. Think that's fine. Value Stone on the Sharpen, no. Prismal Dust is the more important upgrade there. This confirms a reroll for me. Ooh. Oh, Pyrestone Housing and Wing Technology. Can we deal with not having Wing Technology in the final fight? That might be an issue. But having Pyrestone Housing makes it a bit more likely. Actually, in the final fight we might not even be setting up on the top floor. That is very likely, actually. Where's our next Merchant of Steel? Will be here. It's not a bad place to go to. I think that gives us a lot of potential. I like it. And we remove a Train Steward and probably another Shade Splitter. That's it? Yeah, we don't need True Stone. I could buy another Purge. There would be another Merchant of Trinkets, but we are very likely to go to the left instead. We do want to find our unit upgrades at the very end though, so... Especially considering we have Pyrestone Housing, so we will need some money to spend there. I think this is an easy top floor setup with a Rubble Morsel, Penumbra, and then Crucible Warden, because we need the Crucible Warden out more than we need the Animus of Will out. The Crucible... Oops. Oops. Not a big deal. That was a bit of an awkward start. Shattering Dark Shard, that's fine. We have to give you the damage necessary to kill a wave like this. That's 105, so you need about 50 damage. That's a tall order. I guess we're okay taking some damage on Penumbra. Especially with these morsels. This is probably Sharpen Root Seeds. Maybe triple Root Seeds would have been better. 2 extra draws next turn, yeah. Yeah, that would have been preferable. It's not gonna be quite enough. Now it's enough. We don't need to play the calcified ember here. This should be easily dealt with. This should be easily dealt with. I do want to play the calcified ember in this fight though. I mean, might as well do so then. I take a lifesteal. I don't think I want to Ember Drain with a Void Binding. Yeah, it's just not important enough on Penumbra. This is the first wave that's gonna cause us some trouble. Getting a Slay with the Antumbra Sword also means I'm not getting a kill with the Shattered Shell, unless I kill one of my own monsters, which is probably what I end up doing here. Let's get some health on Penumbra. Could do an adaptive mutation on Penumbra, just for the health. Don't think I want to play Prismal Dust just yet, so we keep your attack high. And start working on these double frontline things. There is a Looming Dark Shard up there, so let's keep working on you. Just want to make sure that we don't make cards more expensive for the rest of the fight with Looming Dark Shard, if we don't actually have to. We have 140. That was a lot of effort to get there. I think we boost your attack some more. Because this one is even worse. Doesn't look like we're gonna be trampling over much damage here. We can't even get the quick slay on the backline, can we? It's gonna be 10, 12, 14, 94. And that's not gonna work out. This, on the other hand, will work out if we just use the Razor Sharp Edge. And one Root Seed on you. And we can do the other one on the frontliner. I think we should be fine. It's also now time to raise the shields. Put up our defensive layer. That should have gone on the Clip Guardian, for sure. But no, it doesn't matter. It should have gone on on Arcus, I guess. The downside of Thornfruit, sometimes you draw hands like these. It's not horrible, but they don't do much. Yep, damage shields are very effective against Arcus. Wretch, Spike Channel or Kindle? No. Pretty easy, no. We have enough energy, we have enough capacity, although one more couldn't hurt. Makes it a bit easier to utilize all the morsels. We have a decent amount of draw, but one more couldn't hurt either. It's a lot of our damage scaling from morsels. Not a ton. I'm gonna take draw. Do we go for trying to find a relic? No. No, that's madness. We go to the left side. That's so much value in here. Emblem of the Exiles, Mind Checks, and Sketches of Salvation. It's not sketches, I can tell you that much. Mind Checks gives us the one capacity we just turned down. Allows us to set up on the middle floor instead of having to be on the top floor. Although I really want to be on the bottom floor, but that might not always work out. If we can be on the bottom floor, Emblem of the Exiles is really strong. Like really strong. But being able to feed another morsel a turn, that might also make up for the Emblem of the Exiles. We won't always be able to feed an additional morsel though. I'll go with the Emblem of the Exiles and just really try to rely on the bottom floor strat. A bad draw could make it hard, but we don't need to have Crucible, well, Shattered Shell in the opening hand. Shade Splitters are becoming a bit worse now that we decided to not go with the capacity path. And I think we can cut one root seeds. Actually, Sharpen is worse. Should have looked here first. For the greater good, summon a friendly rebel unit to the front of this floor. These are not really worth. Meanwhile, the unit upgrade, giving everyone melee weakness with the Shattered Shell, or just having melee weakness on the Animus of Will. Either one would be amazing. Yeah, it's a unit upgrade and it's a Thunderstone. I'm just not sure who to put it on. We are worried about wave damage, and for wave damage putting it on the Shattered Shell is better. But if we find multi-strike, we want that on the Shattered Shell and want to have the melee weakness on the Animus of Will instead. It's a 50-50 whether we find multi-strike or not. We see two large upgrades. Either one could be multi-strike. We don't need quick, we don't need endless, we don't need large stone. We can't even really fit large stone in. It's only multi-strike, that would be good. If we don't find multi-strike, it's just gonna be a normal upgrade, just pure stats. And I think those would right now be better on the Shattered Shell, so let's go with melee weakness on the Animus of Will. If both multi-strike and the normal upgrades will be better on the Shattered Shell, I think this is the correct choice. We definitely go Architect 3 for the +4 capacity that now allows us to utilize morsels more effectively. The dupe could go on the Prismal Dust, could go on the Razor Sharp Edge. These are pretty much our choices. I'm more worried about our defense, so let's take a Prismal Dust. This one is pretty good with the Value Stone in it. Heaven's Seal I think should be fine. I mean, we're not really damaging units on the bottom floor anyways. Well, I say that, but we will do exactly that with the Glimmer this turn. Actually, Glimmer is not gonna kill you. What would you do in damage? Not enough. Unless we Adaptive Mutation you and use Penumbra as our frontliner. That would be enough then to kill the Gilded Wing. I I kinda wanna be on the bottom floor. And we do have the unique option to set this up right now. I'm just a bit worried about Penumbra being a frontliner without having adaptive mutation to switch his stats. I think it will work out. That's not a great draw. It's not bad on the Animus of Will, but I kind... Well, it's... Yeah, I kind of want it on the other unit. Right? Do I? I'm not gonna kill frontliners with the sweeper anyways. And backliners, like the frontliner will take all the trample damage anyways. But will it ever matter on the Animus of Will? We don't have double Gilded Wings, but we might have Steel Wing Gilded Wing or something like that. Trample works really well with melee weakness. And we can only combine these if we put the trample on you. Just get 3 damage shields here. So Penumbra won't die before we are done setting up. You actually want to be here. And you also have some melee, not melee, damage shields, not melee shields. Melee shields are not a thing. Lifesteal on Penumbra. There's almost no health to actually heal up though. Wanna get your damage up to at least enough to kill a Purifier. I think it's just damage shields on Penumbra. And health. Damage shield is gonna be our primary defense. We don't need to defend for very long because that Animus of Will in the back will make quick work of most enemies. And when I say most enemies here, I mostly mean the boss. I don't think Shattered Shell is ever gonna do relevant damage here. I think the way we win this fight is just to have Penumbra be just barely tanky enough to survive the boss fight. That's pretty much it. I want to create some morsels. Yeah, the slays don't matter. Having the right morsels does matter. Yes, that's the morsel I was looking for. These morsels here will actually get like semi-relevant stats. Not really relevant, but like they kinda pretend to be relevant. More damage shields, we need those. Even at the cost of our Ember. We don't need that, I don't think. We can instead keep buffing our damage. Let's get the extra draw. Let's put that one back where it belongs. Don't need to heal you up, right? Yeah, we have 2 damage shields. Like, it's not a ton, but it's enough because our Animus of Will is doing 5 times this damage, so 143 times 5, that's 715. So we kill in 2 turns. Good enough. We also have 4 damage shields. That's about how I expected this to go when I made this tactic for this specific fight. Gem Trove. Floor-wide damage shields are a good thing. 3 morsels are a bit too much. Cave in, not bad if we manage to create like a floor of morsels that we want to send down. Forever Consumed, deal a 30x damage to the front enemy unit. I don't think that's necessary. I'm tempted by this cave in. I'll take it. Pyrogrow, Engraft, Edge Prior. Does any of those matter to us? Is Pyrogrow good? Because we have 2 Prismal Dust, it might be worth it. We also have a bunch of Root Seeds. I'll take it. I'm not super excited about it, but I think it will, in general, be worth. Let's see here. Okay, the game is making this easy for us. We get a multi-strike right away. We don't even have to reroll. So we save some money for relics. We don't have Gorge triggers, we don't care about rooting top floor enemies, and Teeth of Gold will only hit the Divinity in the final fight. And it's pitiful damage. So... reroll. Right? Yes. Cursed Vines, Channel Heart, and Boon of the Blacksmith. Channel Heart does amount to something. Is Cursed Vines good? What would Cursed Vines do for us? It would help trigger Winged Steel early on the turn, but we already have Stings for that. It would rearrange enemy ordering, which sometimes can matter, because trample damage always goes to the front unit. But I think it's not really that important. Anyway, let's take the Pyre Health, let's take the removals. First let's look at the Divine Temple. Twinstone, Seekstone. Intrinsic. It's an interesting one. Intrinsic Pyrogrow. Yeah. I don't want to get too many shards. But this Twinstone on the Prismal Dust is good. Really good. So I don't want to take too many shards, but we just took all the shards we can on this floor. It's time to cut the Root Seeds. We can probably cut one more Shade Splitter as well. We definitely take the Channel Heart. Boon of the Blacksmith doesn't really matter. Would Cursed Vines ever overfill our hand? It might. Like, we have draw 6 right now. If we have draw 6, we have draw 7, actually 8 after turn 1. 8 cards in every hand. If we just play the Sting every turn. So yeah, Cursed Vines is not good. I guess it's removals then. Do we remove the final Shade Splitter, just rely on a Umbra Assault and the 2 making of morsels? I think that's okay. We have a final chance to pick up Boon of the Blacksmith or buy 2 more purchase on a Root Seeds. And finally, now the Cave-In is kind of irrelevant, right? Is the Adaptive Mutation relevant? The thing is, the Adaptive Mutation might matter. Will it ever matter? I wish I picked up a cost reduction for the Void Binding. Kinda wish I had. There's another use for the Cave-In. The Glimmers are also pretty bad. They do consume. But so does the Adaptive Mutation, although... well, we can always play it on a morsel. I like having 3 Root Seeds, I guess. I could go down to 2. We have a lot of energy. Yeah, I think the adaptive mutation is not necessary. And on to the finale. First final boss, Seraph. You have to be on the top floor, huh? Do you? I don't like that. Yeah, that's a problem. I guess we set up on the bottom floor. We have to kill you. For sure. That's gonna be Glimmer and Sting. Then Glimmer on the top floor. That's okay. Wait, the Sting's still 30. Anyway, we play Pyro. That will always happen. We play Sting on you. Also pretty much guaranteed. And we play Glimmer on the top floor. That gives us a little bit of extra information here. Umbra, Animals of Will. I'm hoping we can block the Seraph the patient hit with the damage shield. I'm gonna throw this out right away. And we can. You go all the way in the back, killing these guys. You raise the barriers. Do I wanna morsel miner, or do I wanna try for a better morsel? I don't think there is really a better morsel right now. What we can do. Do we wanna do that? No, because you will eventually just wipe out our morsel floor, maybe before we have the chance to cave it in. We don't have to Prismal Dust this turn though, so we could cave in right now. Yeah, I think we do it. And throw out this thing on a floor where it doesn't trigger Seraph's stuff. Now Trample and Multi-Strike, like, it's not quite as easy anymore. We can't just say we're doing 68 a turn to 3 enemies, so times 3, because these ones will be gone after the first hit. But it's still gonna be worth putting Umbra Stone on you over the Animus, right? No, no it's not, because the Animus hit Seraph. Usually. We have one more damage shield that will be gone if the Gilded Wings hits us. We have Void Binding and Prismal Dust in the deck though. So we can go for the morsel this turn. You are really just there to take care of the Shade Wings and that stuff. That's quite threatening. 5 damage shield. We're unlikely to ever get higher than that if we play the Void Binding now. I think it's time to delay the Void Binding. I think this is still worth. Lifesteal doesn't matter right now. We're not losing health at the moment. We might cave that in later, although the... Oh, actually that's gonna eat a melee weakness. Not that that matters, because damage shield does absorb melee weakness hits. We can actually play out our turn on this floor. Then we could cave in these. And that doesn't really matter. We want the damage shields right now. And shuffle that back into the deck so we get to draw into it later. We're gonna kill you next turn when Seraph doesn't get an incant from our Sting. Or even better, from our Umbra Assault. Oh, my hand is full. Oops. Play the Stings on an empty floor. Oh! Oh! Oh yeah, that's really nice. We play you, you don't trigger ally. The less health this guy has, the less we have to hit him, so we don't take as much damage to the spikes. I don't want to lose damage shields to those spikes, so we'll Root Seeds. Well, then I think it's worth spending a Umbra on a +6/+6 instead of a +2 attack. And we should have the kill here, no problem whatsoever, with 9 damage shields left. Okay, that takes down Seraph. It's time to head on to the real final boss. Hi Divinity. Hi Nat, welcome. Yes, I was so hoping on the Shattered Shell being there on the first turn. Do we have enough attack though? Not quite, huh? We don't have trample yet either. But we do have our full unit set up, and that is amazing. This fight is all about the Shattered Shell. Because it's just waves and waves we have to clear. This is not an amazing hand. I'm gonna use 1 Glimmer to heal up my Animus. And then use a Prismal Dust, I guess. I can draw an extra card if I play the Root Seeds first. That's a good card. It's a really good card. We used up all our damage shields that we had on the Animus immediately, but now that we have Trample, we are gonna be much better off. I don't want spikes in my train. That's obviously why I cut the Sharpen, right? Let's see. We throw that on. Now the question is, what do we do with the rest of our hand? Do we just gain 6 damage shields? Or do we just take 22 and make sure that we can kill this Clip Guardian? Can we make sure that we can kill this Clip Guardian? I don't think we can. We could kill the Wildwings, but that reduces our damage because of Trample. So I think we just start scaling our damage up some more. We don't have the cave-in necessary energy for that. We can kill you with some spikes perhaps. First mini-boss. They're going down quite easily. More damage shields. I think we want him. I think we also want the rage. Not a lot of energy to play these right now. And the Ember Drain is going up. We can always play them later for 0, I guess. Vengeful Shard doesn't matter, it's not relevant damage. Yeah, I can't get morsels here. So my best chance is to just remove some health from the enemy health pool. We're out of damage shields again. So we need to prepare some new ones. There's also a problem with the Shatterer Shell dying. First hit will kill all of these, but deal... that's 6 enemies, 18 damage. And then second hit... Oh, this guy has spikes 5 and will still have some spikes left afterwards. That is necessary, I think. I think this is the last time we have to face spikes, so the health of the backliner shouldn't matter anymore. I'm not gonna have any energy next turn. Will I need the damage shields though? I don't think so. I think I can let those cycle one more time. I forgot about you. I need to draw into... I can't draw into anything. We can't even kill this. At least we'll have our energy back and more room for morsels, but I think this just means death for us. See what I mean? I think I'm not allowed to let the backliner die. I'm so happy about this Glimmer right now. But we might just lack the power to beat the Divinity in Relentless. That's what it looks like right now. Definitely kill you. Could we have gotten a kill with the Umbra Assault on that guy? Might have been possible. I mean, these guys will not reach the top, so they don't matter. This is not my last chance to apply Prismal Dust, but it saves 9 health. I'm not guaranteed to see it again. You have Trample. Actually, is this it? Almost. It's almost. We're almost there. If you have 2 more health, you will actually survive a whole another hit. There we go. That was close. But we made it. Oh, yeah, that was really close. Pretty much, Net. Losing that sweeper was really hurting our chances there. Wow, this run took a while. Nice. The last one we got completed at all. Now we have both. It's the last one that we were missing. Now we have both of those. Both champions there. Seems good. Yeah, we almost took 1.5 hours. And I felt like time went by pretty fast. Well, how goes the saying? Time flies when you're having fun. And I definitely had fun with this run. Very Awoken heavy units. Although both of our essences were Umbra. And then we had yeah, like pretty mixed deck in terms of clans. Thornfruit being a huge asset, same for Winged Steel. Yeah, not a super powerful run, but it was enough. Damage shield is good against the Seraph the Patient, and it's also good against the Divinity if you set up on the bottom floor. That's pretty much it. The damage shield, the power of damage shield that got us through this.